So if you want to make an assessment of what happened at Fordo, you better get a big shovel and go really deep, because Iran's nuclear program is obliterated.
Here's Pete Hegseth on why we maybe shouldn't pay that much attention to a random leaker.
Let him answer this question.
Hello, Mr. Secretary.
Yeah. There's a reason the president calls out fake news for what it is. These pilots, these refuelers, these fighters, these air defenders, the skill and the courage it took to go into enemy territory flying 36 hours on behalf of the American people and the world to take out a nuclear program is beyond what anyone in this audience can fathom. And then the instinct of CNN, the instinct of the New York Times is to try to find a way to spin it for their own political reasons, to try to hurt President Trump or our country. They don't care what the troops think. They don't care what the world thinks. They want to spin it to try to make him look bad based on a leak. Of course, we've all seen plenty of leakers. And what do leakers do? They have agendas. And what do? Do they share the whole information or just the part that they want to introduce? And when they introduce that preliminary report that's deemed to be a low assessment, you know what a low assessment means? Low confidence in the data in that report. And why is there low confidence? Because all of the evidence of what was just bombed by 12 30,000-pound bombs is buried under a mountain, devastated and obliterated. So if you want to make an assessment of what happened at Fordo, you better get a big shovel and go really deep, because Iran's nuclear program is obliterated. And somebody somewhere is trying to leak something to say, oh, with low confidence, we think maybe it's moderate. Those that dropped the bombs precisely in the right place know exactly what happened when that exploded. And you know who else knows? Iran. That's why they came to the table right away, because their nuclear capabilities have been set back beyond what they thought were possible because of the courage of a commander-in-chief who led our troops, despite what the fake news wants to say.
You know, it's interesting. I tried to give the devil his due before, like, I don't know more than you, but when you listen to Pete Hegseth, and what did I say about Pete Hegseth the entire time during his confirmation hearings? There were two reasons that they were going to go after this guy. One was his qualifications, but two was the TV presentation, that he would know how to talk to the camera and he would know how to fight with these people and take no BS and all those things. I think you got that right there. And he actually gave no wiggle room right there, right? So first off, he explains a preliminary report doesn't mean that much. With low confidence doesn't mean that much, and yet that's the lead story on CNN right now. And then he specifically says, we pinpoint destroyed it. And how the hell, in essence, he's saying, how the hell would they know? You better get a shovel and start digging, because the whole thing is freaking buried.